Tonight here at home, family and friends of a 16-year-old who was shot to death last month gathered today not only to honor her, but to call for action.
Atlanta police say a teenage boy was arrested after the shooting at the Hyatt Regency, but as Fox 5's Alex Whitler reports, her family says that's not enough.
Kalecia Williams. Everyone called her Pinky because of her obsession with the color pink. She was 16 years old, a student at South Atlanta High School, and she lived the kind of normal teenage life that every parent recognizes. She loved TikTok. She loved dancing. She loved staying inside with her Wi-Fi and Netflix during the pandemic lockdowns. Sound familiar? That's because she was your daughter. She was everyone's daughter. December 26th, 2020 started like any other day for April Smith and Ronnie Savoy, Kalecia's parents. Their daughter had been cooped up inside for months due to COVID restrictions. When her friend Infinity called with an invitation to a holiday party, it seemed like the perfect opportunity. It's going to be at an Airbnb, Infinity's mom promised. Just a few girls from school. I'll be supervising everything. Here's what every parent needs to understand. Kalecia's parents weren't careless. They weren't neglectful. They asked the right questions. They got the right assurances. They'd even done this before with the same family. Everything had gone perfectly. Ronnie, Kalecia's stepfather, actually had to convince her to go. "P, you need to go outside and get some air," he told her. "No, I'm good. Long as I got my Wi-Fi and my Netflix," Kalecia replied. But eventually, she agreed. At 9 p.m. on December 26th, Kalecia left her house. Her parents felt good about their decision. They had no way of knowing they'd just sent their daughter to her death. Here's where the story gets twisted. The supervising adult, who promised to watch over these children, had already made other plans. Plans that didn't include an Airbnb. Plans that didn't include supervision. Plans that would put Kalecia exactly where someone wanted her to be. Because while Kalecia's parents were trusting this woman to protect their child, she was busy booking a hotel room. The Hyatt Regency Atlanta. A room she would put in her own name, violating every hotel policy about unaccompanied minors. The question every parent should be asking right now is simple. Why did she lie? When Kalecia arrived at Infinity's house, ready to head to the Airbnb party, she discovered something that should have sent her running home. She was the only one there. No other girls from school. No party preparations. Just Infinity. But teenagers don't think like adults. Kalecia didn't call her parents. She didn't demand to go home. She trusted her friend. That trust was about to be weaponized against her. Change of plans. Infinity told her. "We're going to a hotel instead. The Hyatt Regency Atlanta. Room paid for by Infinity's mother. The same woman who had promised Kalecia's parents she would supervise everything." Kalecia texted her mom about the location change, but she didn't express concern. Why would she? She was with her friend. She was supposed to be safe. But every decision was moving her further away from help and closer to danger. At the hotel, Kalecia made a horrible discovery. There was no party, no other girls, no supervision, just her and Infinity in a hotel room. But even then, Kalecia didn't panic. She was 16 years old. She thought her friend would protect her. She thought the adults in her life had made sure she was safe. She was wrong on both counts. Every parent watching this has made the same choice Kalecia's parents made. You've trusted another adult with your child's safety because you wanted them to have fun. If you're not subscribed, you're missing the warning signs that could save your kid's life. Because what happened next wasn't an accident. Here's what I need you to think about. When a parent promises to supervise your child, are you naive to believe them? Or are they counting on your trust to get what they really want? Drop your answer in the comments. Because the next chapter is going to show you exactly how that trust was used to set up Kalecia Williams. Welcome to Hot True Crime Stories. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you won't miss out on our most important true crime documentary. 11:47 p.m. Kalecia and Infinity arrive at the Hyatt Regency Atlanta. The hotel lobby is busy with holiday travelers, families checking in, normal people doing normal things. Nobody notices two teenage girls heading to the elevators. Nobody knows that one of them will be dead in 35 minutes. Kalecia walks into the hotel room expecting to find her friends getting ready for a fun night. Instead, she finds empty beds, silence, and the horrible realization that she's been lied to. Where's everybody? Where's the party? Where are the other girls? Here's where the plan reveals itself. At midnight, Infinity gets a phone call. She tells Kalecia she needs to go downstairs to meet someone in the lobby. She'll be right back. But Infinity doesn't go to the lobby to meet a friend. She goes to meet the person who's been waiting for this exact moment. The person who needed Kalecia to be alone. While Kalecia sits in that hotel room, completely isolated from help, Infinity is downstairs coordinating the final phase of a setup that started weeks earlier. Kalecia is now completely alone. No friends. No supervision. No idea that she's walking into a trap. She has two choices. Call her parents and demand to come home, or trust that her friend will return and everything will be fine. She chooses trust. But while she's making TikTok videos to pass the time, someone is already heading up to her room. Someone who knows she's alone. Someone who's been planning this moment. What Kalecia's parents didn't know is that their daughter was texting them clues all night. I'm the only one here. We're at a hotel now instead. Infinity had to go downstairs. Each message was a cry for help disguised as normal teenage updates. But parents aren't mind readers. They trusted the arrangements they'd made. They had no way of knowing their daughter was sending them her location because she was scared. 12:01 a.m. Kerry Brown steps off the elevator on Kalecia's floor. He knows exactly which room she's in because someone told him. He knows she's alone because someone arranged it. He knows no adults are coming because someone guaranteed it. Kerry walks down the hall toward room 1023 with one intention. He's not there to party. He's not there to hang out. He's there to assault Kalecia Williams. And if she resists, 12:02 a.m. Kalecia hits record on her phone one last time. She has no idea Kerry is standing outside her door. She has no idea her friend set her up. She has no idea that adults she trusted have betrayed her completely. She's just a 16-year-old girl making a dance video, believing she's safe. In 60 seconds, Kerry will walk through that door without knocking. In 60 seconds, her expression will change from joy to terror. In 60 seconds, she'll realize she's been trapped. But right now, she's still dancing. Right now, she still trusts people. Right now, she's still alive. Right now, your teenager is alone somewhere. Maybe in their room, maybe at a friend's house, maybe at a party you think is supervised. Right now, someone could be planning to get them isolated, just like Kalecia. Someone could be using your trust against your child. If you're not subscribed to channels that show you how these predators operate, you're leaving your family defenseless. Subscribe now, because the next chapter shows you exactly what happened when Kerry Brown walked through that door. Here's what I need to know. If your child texted you, "I'm the only one here," from a party, would you immediately go get them? Or would you trust that everything's fine because an adult promised to supervise? Kalecia Williams positions her phone against the hotel room wall. She's wearing a black top, her hair is done, and she's smiling. For these next few seconds, she looks exactly like every teenage girl making content for social media. She hits record. The music starts. She begins to dance. This is the video that will haunt her family forever. This is the video that captures the exact moment her life changed from normal to nightmare. Watch her movements. She's confident, graceful, completely unaware that death is walking toward her door. She's lost in the music, lost in the moment, lost in the simple joy of being 16 years old and alive. But if you look closely at the timestamp, you can see something terrifying. Kerry Brown is already in the hallway. He's already decided what he's going to do to her. While Kalecia dances, he's counting down the seconds until he makes his move. 12:02 and 47 seconds. The hotel room door opens. Kalecia's head snaps up. Her entire body language shifts. The dancing stops. Her eyes go wide. Her mouth opens slightly. This is pure, instant fear. She's looking at someone she recognizes, Kerry Brown. But she's also looking at someone who clearly doesn't belong in her room. Someone who didn't knock. Someone who walked in like he owned the place. Kalecia moves toward her phone, not away from it. She's trying to end the recording because she knows something is wrong. But watch her face. This isn't confusion. This isn't surprise at an unexpected friend. This is fear. Pure, instinctive, teenage girl fear when she realizes she's alone with someone who means her harm. Her body knows what her mind hasn't accepted yet. She's in danger. Real danger. 12:02 and 52 seconds. The recording stops. 5 seconds of terror captured forever. 5 seconds that show a girl realizing she's been set up. But here's what the video doesn't show you. Kerry Brown closing the door behind him. Kerry Brown explaining why he's there. Kalecia backing away from him. The video doesn't show you the moment she understands that her friend betrayed her, that the adults she trusted failed her, that she's completely alone with a predator. From this moment, Kalecia Williams has exactly 20 minutes and 31 seconds left to live. In those 21 minutes, she will fight harder than most people fight in their entire lives. She will refuse to let Kerry Brown assault her without a battle. She will show courage that most adults never have to find. But she will also discover that fighting back against a predator comes with consequences. Deadly consequences. Because Kerry Brown didn't come to that room prepared to take no for an answer. Here's what every parent needs to understand about what happened next. Kerry Brown brought a gun to assault a 16-year-old girl. That wasn't an accident. That wasn't a heat-of-the-moment decision. He planned to hurt her. And if she resisted, he planned to kill her. The moment Kalecia fought back, the moment she refused to be his victim quietly, her death became inevitable. Because predators don't just want compliance. They want submission. And when they don't get it, every parent watching this needs to understand something. Your daughter will fight back too. When someone tries to hurt her, she won't just submit. She'll fight. And that fighting might get her killed. If you're not subscribed to content that teaches you how to prepare your children for these situations, you're sending them into battle with no weapons. Subscribe now, because what happened in those next 21 minutes will change how you talk to your teenager forever. Here's my question. When your daughter fights back against an attacker, do you want her trained to survive? Or do you want her to be as helpless as Kalecia was in that room? 12:03 a.m. Kerry Brown closes the hotel room door behind him. Kalecia backs away, demanding to know what he's doing there. Where's Infinity? Why didn't he knock? Kerry's answer changes everything. He didn't come to party. He came for her. He moves toward Kalecia with clear intent. She understands immediately what he wants. And she makes a decision that will cost her everything. She says no. What happens next destroys the myth that victims just submit quietly. Kalecia Williams fights. She fights hard. She fights with everything a 110-pound teenage girl can summon against a male attacker. She scratches. She hits. She tries to get to the door. She refuses to make this easy for him. But Kerry Brown came prepared for resistance. He didn't just bring intent. He brought a weapon. 12:11 a.m. Kerry loses patience with Kalecia's resistance. He pulls out a gun. Not to threaten her into compliance. Not to scare her into submission. He shoots her in the groin area. An intimate, punishing shot designed to destroy her ability to resist while keeping her conscious to suffer. This isn't random violence. This is calculated cruelty from someone who planned to hurt her in the most personal way possible. Kalecia Williams doesn't die instantly. For 12 more minutes, she lies bleeding on that hotel room floor. For 12 more minutes, she fights to stay alive. Kerry Brown doesn't call 911. He doesn't try to help her. He doesn't show any remorse for what he's done. Instead, he makes sure she's dying. Then he leaves her there. While Kalecia bleeds out alone, Kerry is already planning how to cover up what he's done. 12:23 a.m. Two males enter the hotel room and find Kalecia unconscious on the floor. But here's where the story gets suspicious. Instead of immediately calling emergency services, they make a decision that will haunt this case forever. They move her body. They carry Kalecia from the hotel room to the lobby, destroying the crime scene and eliminating crucial evidence in the process. Why? Who told them to do that? What were they trying to hide? According to witnesses, Kalecia's hotel room was covered in blood. So much blood that moving her body was supposedly necessary. But video footage taken by a witness shows something impossible. No blood on Kalecia's body. No blood on the people carrying her. No blood trail from room to lobby. Where did all that blood go? How do you move a gunshot victim from a room covered in blood without getting any blood on yourself? The answer is simple. Someone cleaned up that crime scene before those two males ever entered the room. Every second your child spends alone with someone, terrible things can happen. Every minute you're not there, someone could be hurting them. Kalecia fought for 21 minutes. She fought alone. She died alone while adults who should have protected her were nowhere to be found. If you're not subscribed to channels that expose how these predators operate and how these cover-ups happen, you're leaving your family defenseless against people who plan to hurt children. Subscribe now, because the next chapter reveals who helped clean up that crime scene and why Kalecia's parents didn't find out she was dead until 8 hours later. Here's what haunts me. If someone shot your child and then moved their body to hide evidence, Would you want the truth, or would you rather believe it was just two good Samaritans trying to help? 8:45 a.m., December 27th, 2020. April Smith's phone rings. "This is the morgue," the voice says. April is confused. "The morgue? What morgue?" "Yes, ma'am. We're waiting on your daughter's body to come through." I'm like, whoa. April remembers. Her daughter has been dead for over 8 hours, and she's just finding out now. 8 hours. Kalecia died at 12:23 a.m. Her parents learned about it almost 9 hours later from strangers at the morgue. Where was Infinity during those 8 hours? Where was her mother who promised to supervise these children? They disappeared. Completely. While Kalecia's parents tried calling them throughout the night to check on their daughter, they got no response. No texts back. No return calls. Nothing. These adults who took responsibility for Kalecia's safety vanished the moment she needed them most. They left her parents in complete ignorance while their daughter lay dead in a hospital morgue. Let's talk about those two males who found Kalecia's body. According to their story, they discovered her lying in a pool of blood and decided to carry her downstairs to get help fast. Kerry Brown's confession changed everything. Under interrogation, he admitted the truth. This wasn't a random encounter. This wasn't an argument that got out of hand. Kerry Brown came to that hotel room specifically to assault Kalecia Williams. And he knew she would be alone because someone told him she would be. That someone was Infinity, Kalecia's trusted friend. The girl she grew up with. The girl whose mother promised to keep her safe. Kerry Brown revealed how the setup worked. Infinity approached him weeks before December 26th. She knew Kerry was interested in Kalecia sexually. She knew Kalecia would never consent to being alone with him. So Infinity created the perfect solution. A fake party. A hotel room. A guarantee that Kalecia would be isolated and vulnerable. All Infinity had to do was get her friend to that room, and then leave her there for Kerry to do whatever he wanted. When police questioned Infinity about what happened that night, she couldn't keep her story straight. First story. She was downstairs when she heard Kalecia screaming for help for several minutes. Second story. She was in the lobby and didn't hear anything until someone told her there was trouble. Third story. She left the hotel before anything happened and found out later. Fourth story. She was too scared to remember exactly what occurred. For different versions. All lies. Infinity's mother wasn't an innocent adult who got manipulated by teenagers. She knew there was no party planned. She knew she wasn't going to supervise anything. She knew she was putting unaccompanied minors in a hotel room in violation of every policy and law designed to protect children. She booked that room knowing what Kerry Brown planned to do to Kalecia Williams. She provided the location for a planned sexual assault. And when Kalecia was murdered, she disappeared for 8 hours instead of calling the girl's parents. Here's what Kerry Brown told police about what really happened in that room. He entered without permission. Kalecia was startled and scared, exactly like in the video. He told her why he was there. She said no. She tried to fight him off. So he grabbed her and attempted to rape her. When she continued resisting, he got frustrated and angry. That's when he pulled out the gun and shot her in the groin. Not to kill her quickly, to punish her for fighting back. Kerry Brown confessed to attempted rape and murder. He admitted planning the assault. He showed no remorse for killing a 16-year-old girl who refused to be his victim. His sentence? 1 year in juvenile detention. 1 year for rape. 1 year for murder. 1 year for destroying a family and ending a life. He was released in 2022. He's walking free right now while Kalecia Williams rots in a grave. The person who raped and murdered Kalecia Williams is free today. The friend who set her up faced no consequences. The adults who enabled it all walked away untouched. This is the justice system that's supposed to protect your children. These are the people who decided a teenage girl's life was worth 1 year in juvenile hall. If you're not subscribed to channels that expose how the system fails murdered children, you're accepting that this is normal. You're accepting that your child's life has no value either. Subscribe now, because the final chapter reveals why Kalecia's family is still fighting for justice and what every parent can do to make sure this never happens to another child. Here's my final question. When the justice system gives a confessed rapist and murderer 1 year for killing your daughter, do you accept it and move on, or do you fight until that system burns to the ground? Kerry Brown was charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, sexual assault, reckless conduct, and possession of a firearm by a minor. On paper, These charges should have meant decades in prison. In reality, they meant absolutely nothing. The juvenile court system treated the rape and murder of Kalecia Williams like a schoolyard fight. Like a mistake. Like something a teenage boy just grows out of. 1 year. That's what Kalecia Williams' life was worth to the state of Georgia. April Smith and Ronnie Savoy refused to accept this mockery of justice. They created a petition demanding real consequences for their daughter's killer. They organized protests outside the hotel where she died. They spoke to every reporter who would listen. They fought the system that failed their daughter while she was alive and failed her again after she was dead. But the system doesn't care about dead teenage girls. It cares about protecting the futures of the young men who kill them. Infinity faced no charges for setting up her friend's assault and murder. Infinity's mother faced no charges for providing the location and enabling the crime. The two males who moved the body and destroyed evidence faced no charges for tampering with the crime scene. The only person who paid any price for Kalecia Williams' death was Kalecia Williams herself. 2022 Kerry Brown completes his 1-year sentence and walks out of juvenile detention a free man. No probation. No monitoring. No restrictions on his contact with other teenage girls. He's free to attend parties. Free to befriend vulnerable girls. Free to plan his next assault. Because the justice system believes he's been rehabilitated by 12 months of consequences for rape and murder. Kalecia's family started a petition titled Justice for Kalecia, demanding that Kerry Brown be retried as an adult. As of today, that petition has 1,424 signatures. It needs 1,500 to be officially reviewed. 1,424 people who believe Kalecia Williams deserved better than a justice system that values her killer's future more than her life. But where are the other 75 signatures? Where are the other parents who should be terrified that this could happen to their children? Every predator watching Kerry Brown's case learned something valuable. They learned that planning and executing the rape and murder of a teenage girl carries minimal consequences. They learned that juvenile courts will protect them no matter how brutal their crimes. They learned that society values their rehabilitation more than their victims' lives. Kerry Brown didn't just get away with murder. He sent a message to every other potential killer that teenage girls are acceptable targets. Right now, Kerry Brown is free. Right now, he has access to other teenage girls. Right now, he could be planning his next assault. The justice system that failed Kalecia Williams is the same system that's supposed to protect your daughter. If you're not subscribed to channels that expose these failures and demand accountability, you're accepting that your child's life has no value to the system either. Subscribe now, because the final chapter shows you exactly what you can do to make sure another Kalecia Williams never happens again. Here's what keeps me awake at night. If Kerry Brown kills another girl tomorrow, will you blame him? Or will you blame the system that told him teenage girls' lives don't matter? Kalecia Williams died trying to teach us something. She died showing us that predators don't hide in shadows anymore. They use friend groups, social networks, and trusted adults to find their victims. She died proving that fighting back takes incredible courage, even when it costs everything. Most importantly, she died because every system designed to protect children failed her completely. Her death was preventable. Your child's death is preventable too. Right now, thousands of parents are watching this story and thinking it could never happen to their family. Their teenagers are different. Their friends are trustworthy. Their community is safe. These are the exact same thoughts Kalecia's parents had on December 26, 2020, when they encouraged their daughter to go out and have fun. The parents who refuse to learn from Kalecia's death are setting their own children up for the same fate. Kalecia Williams' family isn't asking for sympathy. They're demanding change. They want hotel policies enforced. They want juvenile courts reformed. They want parents to stop trusting promises from strangers. They want Kalecia's death to mean something more than just another true crime story for people to consume and forget. But that only happens if you make it happen. The predators who watched Kerry Brown get 1 year for rape and murder are planning right now. They're befriending your children on social media. They're earning trust in your community. They're identifying the parents who won't ask hard questions. They know that most families won't change their behavior just because another family's child died. They're counting on your complacency. They're counting on you to ignore Kalecia's warning. You can close this video and go back to trusting the same systems that got Kalecia Williams killed. You can continue letting your teenagers attend unsupervised parties with friends you don't really know. You can keep believing that other parents have your child's best interests at heart. Or you can honor Kalecia Williams by refusing to let her death be meaningless. Subscribe to this channel because every video could contain the information that saves your child's life. Share Kalecia's story with every parent you know because ignorance kills children. Sign the Justice for Kalecia petition because 1-year sentences for child murder normalized the killing of teenagers. And most importantly, change how you parent. Because the system that failed Kalecia Williams is waiting to fail your child too. I'll leave you with this final thought. Kalecia Williams trusted her friend, her parents trusted the supervising adult, and everyone trusted the system to seek justice when it all went wrong. All of that trust got a 16-year-old girl raped and murdered while her killer walks free today. So here's my final question, and I need you to answer honestly in the comments. After everything you've learned about how Kalecia Williams died, what are you going to change about how you protect your children? And if your answer is nothing, how is that different from gambling with your child's life? Thank you for watching to the end, and I will see you on the next episode of Hot True Crime Stories. Stay safe.